Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Previously, we reconnected with Gumshoe, and brought him back on board in the investigation proper. And he had some helpful advice, and, after we inspected the trash area at the side of the Grand Tower, we determined that John Marsh was probably taken away, hidden in a box. Quite similarly to how, Sebastian was kidnapped, actually. And using the explosion sounds heard in the phone call with the mastermind, we determined that John was probably being held at the garbage facility right next to the Sunshine Coliseum. And I'm still kind of weirded out, because it's like, we had sent Simon Keyes and Regina Berry to the Sunshine Coliseum, and the phone call with the mastermind happened while they were there. So now it's just mostly a hunch, but I'm like, is there something more to Simon than I was initially led to believe? Anyway, now with 20 minutes overtime, we're bussed back into the courtroom to clear up this mess and stall for a bit more time. So, let's get going. Well, if it isn't former prosecutor Edgeworth. Plays the best. Witness, face forward, we're not done talking yet. Like I said, you see, by exactly what I have needed to help that person out, Your Honor. You know, it's a crying shame. Having a beautiful woman declared guilty, honestly, it brings tears to my eyes. But you see, there's no reason for me to go out of my way to hide evidence just to save her. However, we still have the testimony of your son, Prosecutor DeBest. He testified that he handed the evidence over to you. Well, I haven't the slightest clue what he was talking about. I simply can't imagine why Sebastian would have said something like that, you know. Oh, when did Miles teleport into the booth? Okay, he's standing near Franziska then. Fair enough. What if there is evidence that shows your connection with Warden Roland? And just what do you think you're doing, former Prosecutor Edgeworth? I was under the impression that you were no longer in any position to stand in court. Miles Edgeworth, how dare you barge into my prosecutor's bench? Franziska, I'm sorry. I need you to lend me the bench for a little while. What are you saying? Judge Courtney, I brought vital evidence related to this case. Your Honor, please allow me to testify. Shouldn't he take the stand, then? She'd never allow it. Objection! Courtney Pie, Uncle Ray also asks that he be allowed to testify. There are no objections from the prosecution either, right? Understood. The prosecution also has no objections. Objection! There's no way you can allow something like this, you know. Such high-handed methods. Wait a second. Where did he get another wig? I just realized his hair's back. I mean, I kind of wish they just kept him bald and hairless, because that was a very funny ending for him in the previous case. But yeah, no, I get it. It's tough to draw such good pixel art like this, and what's more, I have to imagine that, you know, maybe these games do push the limits of what the Nintendo DS is capable of, because yeah, I do recall remembering that even Ace Attorney 1 was like, hot dang, pushing the Game Boy Advance to its limits. And this game, it has like so many more cutscenes and music tracks and sound effects and everything. It's just so much. I know the DS is pretty powerful compared to the GBA, but surely are enough to warrant being held in contempt of court, wouldn't you say, Courtney? As long as John is still in danger, Judge Courtney cannot rule against the warden. I must convey to her somehow that the search for her son is progressing. Judge Courtney, I ask that you have faith in me and my assistant. Now that you mention it, where exactly is she? She is currently out searching for the most important piece of evidence.
Objection!
It's a waste of time. There's no such evidence. Are you stalling for time? How disgraceful.
Objection!
Most important piece of evidence, huh? Courtney Pie. I don't really know what that evidence is, but I think we should have faith in her. After all, even if she may not look like it, she's still the great thief Yatagarasu. Somehow, it seems that Mr. Shields understands. Judge Courtney, we've already determined the general location of that evidence. It's only a matter of time before she steals the evidence back. I understand. Then I shall give you special permission to testify. Thank you, Your Honor. This is ridiculous. This vital evidence that you have found, please present it to the court. Blaise DeBest and Patricia Rowland are somehow connected. Allow me to present the evidence that proves it. Which piece of evidence shows the relationship between Patricia Rowland and Blaise DeBest? Yeah, it would, be IS-7? Or was it Knightley? Oh, yeah. Knightley's connection with Dogen by Patricia Rowland to Blaise DeBest.
Take that!
This document contains a detailed report regarding the interrogation of a certain man. A certain man? That man being the late Horace Knightley. And the one who interrogated him was the defendant in this trial, Patricia Rowland. So that means that was the interrogation where... That's right. Patricia Rowland murdered Knightley in the aftermath of the interrogation. And that very interrogation has been recorded in this written report. That definitely sounds like vital evidence. Miles Edgeworth, just now you referred to that document as a written report. Now, just who in the world was that report written for? I thought you might ask that, Franziska. And that's precisely what is most important about this report. We found this document inside the safe in the storeroom on the 51st floor of the Grand Tower. The 51st floor? The storeroom for the black market auction. Indeed. And the conductor of the auction was you, Blaise DeBest. You received a report about the victim from Warden Rowland. In the face of this evidence, can you still say you have no connection to this case? In regards to that, I refuse to answer. What? It has yet to be proven in court that I was the conductor of the black market auction. Oh, have you already forgotten the events of this morning? I believe I had already proved it back then, did I not? I will not deny that I was bested by you. However, that was at the crime scene. Who knows if the results will be the same in court? An acquittal is still possible, you see. Until it's been proven in court that I am the conductor of the black market auctions, You can't prove that document was addressed to me? Your logic is twisted. No, honestly, that's kind of like how it goes. It's not guilty until proven innocent, it's innocent until proven guilty. That's not very nice, you know? My logic isn't twisted, is it, Courtney? Don't you feel the same way? It was quite unlike you to allow former prosecutor Edgeworth's statement just now, you know. It saddens me, you see, that you would fail to uphold the law as a judge should. In fact, I'm so upset by this, I may have no other choice but to use my last resort, you know.
It is as you say. Something that has not been proven in court does not merit any deliberation.
Yeah, his last resort, huh? I bet he's threatening John.
I will have to overrule Mr. Edgeworth's claim.
As I thought, until John has been rescued. You see, the truth at the scene and the truth in the courtroom are two very different things. So you're saying the truth can be distorted in court, as long as it's for your sake? What a horrible thing to say. I'm not distorting the truth or anything like that, you know. If a not guilty verdict is handed down, then that becomes the truth. That's all it is, you see. It's useless. There's nothing we can do unless the missing evidence turns up. Now then, Courtney, why don't you deliver a not guilty verdict and let's get this over with? After all, that evidence isn't gonna show up anytime soon, you know.
Who raised an objection just now?
Sounds good to me.
Pops?
Sebastian. Why did you come back here now of all times?
Sebastian, what is the meaning of this? Just where were you, and what have you been doing since you abandoned your own trial?
I'm sorry, I was,
Such an act is unbecoming of a prosecutor. You should be ashamed.
Well... Sebastian, you still don't get it, you know. This court has no place for a schniveling child such as yourself.
Pops,
I've come to present new evidence, Your Honor. So please, let me take my place back at the prosecutor's bench. Sebastian, I didn't think he would come back.
Objection.
What's all this now, Sebastian? You don't seem at all like your normal self.
Pops.
Come now, what's the matter? You want Daddy to play with you? Is that it? Well then, why don't we just head on back home?
Return to the witness stand.
What's wrong? You're shaking like a leaf.
Your Honor, the prosecutor officially in charge of this case has just arrived with new evidence. The trial is still in session. In light of this, shouldn't we continue with the proceedings?
Naturally, the defense has no objections, Your Honor. I'm sure the defense attorney originally in charge would say the same.
The prosecution has no objections either, Your Honor.
Continue with the proceedings? That won't be necessary. Isn't that right, Courtney? Blaze still believes that he was the one who kidnapped John. As long as John still hasn't been found, Judge Courtney will remain bound by Blaze, and nothing else will change that. That sound is... her cell phone. My phone as well. Uncle Ray's phone is also... Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Shields. Well, hey! That was easy. Also, has Gumshoe been wearing a second... His green coat is over his suit? And he looks good in black, damn. We found John, sir. We rescued John. Excellent work, detective. That kid was the most important piece of evidence, right? Way to go, Kay. I wanted to spread the word quickly, so I had everyone call. Man, even John's phone is a cow print. Judge Courtney, it's for you. Yes, I see. I'm so glad you're safe. Make sure you properly thank everyone, okay? Be careful and come home safe. Come home. Come home, not go home? Huh. Maybe they actually do know each other. Maybe they really do just live together. Huh. Interesting. Well, let us resume the proceedings. Now that I may once again swing my gavel to my heart's content. You're kidding, right? This is just a sad joke, you know. Witness, this is no joke. Please return to the stand. Prosecutor DeBest as well. Promptly return to your seat at the prosecutor's bench. Yes, Your Honor. Three's a crowd. Sebastian DeBest. Yes, Miss Von Karma? I leave the rest to you. Huh? Oh, three is a crowd, huh? Going up against your own father, it won't be easy. I shall observe how things pan out from the gallery. Now then, allow me to ask once more. Is the prosecution ready? Prosecutor DeBest, what is this new evidence you wish to present? The missing knife and chisel, Your Honor. You mean they've finally been found? Prosecutor DeBest, is this true? The knife and chisel? I wasn't able to find them. I searched and searched. I really did, but it was already too late. Too late? What do you mean? I remembered. This morning when I passed by Pops in the garage at home. He was holding something wrapped in a newspaper. Pops, where are you going? Sebastian, just taking out some trash. At that moment I heard it, the faint sound of a bell. Could that sound have been, by any chance, the bell attached to Dogen's chisel? In other words, You're saying that the witness threw away the evidence. I searched for it, but I didn't make it in time. I'm sorry. Where exactly did you search for it? The garbage dump. I went to the garbage dump and searched everywhere. I thought the evidence Pops threw away had to be there. Huh? Isn't that Sebastian? Oh, what are you doing here? Ah! He ignored us. So at that time, he had gone to the garbage dump. But, this was all I could find. This is? It smells rather peculiar.
Now that you mention it, there's kind of a funky smell coming from you as well.
What do you expect? I was digging through garbage. And what of the knife? I think it's buried somewhere in that giant mountain of trash. But I couldn't find it by myself. I understand. I shall accept this into evidence. A rock?
Well done, Sebastian. You never betray my expectations, you know.
Wow.
You searched so desperately through the garbage and that's all you have to show for it? Oh, what a tearjerker. I'm tearing up already.
Objection.
It's a bit too early for tears, don't you think? We haven't examined the evidence properly yet. I think it's just a pointless waste of time, you know. I'm counting on you, Sebastian, Miles. Show him that the truth can be exposed in court and take him down.
Mr. Shields is backing us up. Now all we need is a breakthrough. Prosecutor DeBest, let's take a closer look at the evidence. Right. Rock. E? H. Is this a balled up newspaper? Let's have a look inside. It'd be great if we could find some kind of proof. This is the bell that was attached to Dogen's chisel. Are there any traces left behind on it? It's no good. There's not even a single smudge on it. Well, this is still great evidence because we know it's two of a kind. What did you find, Prosecutor DeBest?
Did you even find anything?
Darn it.
Of course you'd find nothing. Something like that can't be called evidence, you know. All it is trash. It may be sad, but that's the truth, you see.
Were Sebastian's efforts all for naught? Indeed, this bell does not seem to be valid evidence. However... Mr. Edgeworth, are you really giving up?
Calm as always, Edgeworth. Quite unlike Sebastian here.
Well then, is the prosecution finished with its argument? Justine, not yet. We're not through yet. There's still something we haven't examined.
You're still not giving up? Struggling in vain's not cute at all, you know.
It seems Sebastian hasn't given up yet either. I was just thinking the exact same thing. The last item remaining, is it trash or is it evidence? If we don't examine it, we'll never find out. The item I'm thinking of is... Yeah, what about the newspaper itself? We're still not done examining the newspaper that the bell was wrapped in. It seems that Sebastian has the same idea as I do. Wow, this is just wonderful, you know. So wonderful it's to cry for. Is it desperation or simply reckless abandon? Are you really going to pin all your hopes on a worthless scrap of newspaper? We won't know for sure whether or not it's worthless until we examine it, will we? Sebastian, let's examine it post-haste. Wait a second. D-E... I-L-H? Or, wait. That's not an L, that's a T. Hold on. H-T... Wait, that... Okay, well that's backwards then. Wait! Oh! Handprint! Is it just me or is this yellow dust on it the same as on the body of the president? Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. The gloves! The gloves in the garage inscribed with death! And they're backwards on the paper because it was printed. Oh my god, it was on them. It was like stamped on. Oh. Is this a handprint? There's something greasy on here too. Is it oil? Judge Courtney, we'd like to request a fingerprint analysis on this paper. Could you please summon someone from forensics? Your request is accepted. Contact the lab at once. Reporting, these are definitely fingerprints. However, it's from a glove. What? Didn't I tell ya it's nothing but a worthless scrap of paper? Just think about it, you know, when handling important evidence. What kind of idiot wouldn't use gloves? Oh wait, wouldn't that be you? The idiot who doesn't know when to give up? That's pretty harsh, talking to your son like that. What's wrong with calling an idiot an idiot? If you want to be the best, you have to be heartless. I have no compassion for worthless individuals, not even my own son. Pops, You know, you've always called yourself a genius prosecutor, haven't you? Didn't I explain to you this morning why you were a genius up until now? That's right, it was all because of me. Because of my authority. You are always being protected by people like Courtney. And me. Now, get that stinking face of yours out of my sight. Stinking? You know, now that I think about it, that stench might just suit you perfectly. Just keep it away from my nose or my eyes will start watering. Wrong. You're wrong, Pops. Sebastian, what are you talking about? You're the one who stinks, Pops. It's you, not me. What? You haven't noticed, have you? You smell, Pops. So much that you can't even hide it. Mr. Edgeworth, try smelling the handprint on the newspaper. The smell. It smells like oil. I know something that smells just like it. Come to think of it, back then, It smells like motor oil. Maintaining that motorcycle must be Blaze's hobby. That's right. The smell proves it. It proves that the culprit who hid the evidence was... It's no good. I guess I can't become the best after all. I'm too soft. I could never be so heartless. I just can't bring down my father with my own hands. Prosecutor DeBest. Summon your courage. Become a different prosecutor from your father. Wasn't that what you decided? We are prosecutors, and as prosecutors, we stand in the courtroom. In that case, isn't it our duty to shed light on the truth? Exposing crimes and bringing criminals to justice, even if the criminal is your own father. That is your duty as a prosecutor. Didn't I promise you that if you have the courage to stand up, I will show you the way? And if you cannot do it alone, then we shall do it together. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Allow me to present the evidence that connects this handprint with my father. Are we playing as him? Nice. D-E-A-T-H. Yeah, I didn't actually recognize it at the time, but that's on the palm.
Take that!
This is the smell of motor oil, the kind used for maintaining motorcycles. Both myself and Mr. Edgeworth have smelled this exact same smell before. Blaze the best. It was in your garage. And wouldn't you say these fingerprints have a rather peculiar shape? The 5 letters that spell out D-E-A-T-H. It's exactly the same as your own gloves.
Objection!
You can buy gloves like that from anywhere. It doesn't prove a thing.
Objection!
Is that really the case? That's not the only thing that these 2 pieces of evidence have in common. The fingerprints on the newspaper that was used to wrap up the bell. And Blaze's mechanic's gloves. This is the unmistakable similarity they both share. The dirt.
Take that!
This is the unmistakable similarity that these 2 pieces of evidence share. It's the letters. I was thrown off by the same colored dirt. My momentum. Where'd it go? Oh no, I don't look cool. Girls were watching. Unmistakable.
Take that!
Wait, what? Huh? It's not the dirt or the letters? Huh? Okay, well this A looks kinda weird. Maybe it's the A and not the E? What? If you examine the imprint left by the letter A, you'll see it's unmistakably from this glove. What? What? And that's not all. There is one more item we must take note of, namely these dirt... I'm not mad. Okay, I'm kind of mad. I'm kind of mad. I suggest we do a comparative analysis of the dirt stains from the newspaper and the glove. I'm very mad. If the contents match up, then it will prove to be decisive evidence. Come on, dude. Bailiff, please have these dirt samples sent to forensics for analysis immediately.
Edgeworth, Sebastian. You lowly prosecutors. Do you have any idea who I am?
Pops, you can't run away anymore. It's been proven in court that you concealed the evidence, and that you tried to cover up for the defendant.
You're saying that I'm guilty? That I'll be sent to prison? Me, Blaze the Best? A couple of snot-nosed punks are gonna make me disappear? Must be some mistake.
Be a man and admit your crime.
Objection.
Do you really think you can survive if I'm not around?
I'll be fine now. I thought I wanted to become the best prosecutor so I could get your approval, Pops. But when I was kidnapped by your men and stuck in that dark room, I started thinking, I am truly powerless. I despaired and averted my eyes from the truth, but... At that moment, Mr. Edgeworth stepped in and showed me the way. And now I am no longer just a child chasing after his father's approval. I've become capable. I can find evidence all on my own now.
My men kidnapped you? Why were you?
Pops, I'll show you the truth you never knew through this trial.
Sebastian, how dare you speak to me like that? You should have just stayed as an idiot's son.
You may have hated me to the very end, Pops. But I've always looked up to you. Thank you for everything up until now. And goodbye.
You? Since when did you? All you've ever been able to do is depend on me. Sebastian!
No hairless? Okay. It has been established that the evidence was concealed by Blaze the Best himself. A judgment regarding his concealment of evidence shall be delivered at a separate trial. The missing chisel and knife still have yet to be found. However, once a search of the waste disposal site is underway, they will surely be discovered. The knife will be found. What will happen to me if it's found? No need to worry. You'll simply receive the punishment you deserve for your crime. Punishment? For me? Blaze, what in the world are you doing? You? After all your boasting about being able to create your own truths and not guilty verdicts. That's why I contacted you immediately after the prison incident in the first place. And to make matters worse, you even kidnapped the wrong kid. I just can't believe this. You really are completely useless. That was certainly a violent outburst, but you heard her, Prosecutor DeBest. Yeah, she got flustered and said a bunch of important stuff. Right? Indeed. That's correct. He still doesn't seem very sure of himself. Very well.
And with that, this court is adjourned.
Knuckle back!
Do I know that voice? Why do I feel like I know that voice?
Who are you?
Alright, Sheila Lane! What the hell? Judge Courtney, it's still too early for a happy ending. Lane G says the end of the trial is not always the end of the case.
And who might you be?
The name's Sheilon Lane. I'm just a humble lone investigator.
Do you have some objection with this trial?
Not a chance. The defendant there has a heart as black as a moonless night.
Lane, don't tell me you're the one from 12 years ago.
You got it. Ain't this nice? Now you're finally gone to prison where you belong. 12 years is a long time coming for a suspended sentence, don't you agree?
Agent Lane, what are you talking about?
The SS5 incident from 12 years ago is a case I'll never forget. Oh, brother, another new case, huh?
12 years ago.
Well, a lot has changed. It all happened over 12 years ago. Back then, he and my father were close friends, and our clan protected the president's life. But then, he suddenly changed. It's as if he became an entirely different person. Nowadays, he doesn't even have the shred of faith in the police force of Geneva.
12 years ago. I wonder what went on then.
Okay, stupid theory time. What if 12 years ago, Juan's body double, which he knows he does employ, because Shelley said so, what if 12 years ago the body double literally killed the real Dijun Juan and assumed his place? And it's like, Lane just said, it's like he became a different person. What if this entire time a phony has been the president? That would be hilarious. I can kind of see this game doing that.
12 years ago. I wonder what went on then. Might it have something to do with Lane's father and President Juan?
Patricia Rowland and you blazed the best. Back then, the two of you killed off the Lane clan.
Were you involved in the incident 12 years ago?
That's right, I was. However, I'm not here to chase after ghosts of the past. I'm here for you, Justine Courtney.
Me?
You and one other.
John!
Miss Courtney, you're coming along too. As a suspect in the murder of the president of Genfa, Dijun Juan. Oh, come on, Lane. I thought you were better than this.
Objection!
Agent Lane, what evidence do you...
Knuckle back!
Settle down, Mr. Prosecutor. The investigation has only just begun. Gonna inspect the crime scene with the suspects in attendance.
Agent Lane, did he get his hands on some new pieces of evidence?
If you have any objections, then you can tag along as well.
I shall do just that.
Okay, to be fair, Lane's saying that she's a suspect, not the actual culprit yet. the end of the trial is not always the end of the case. There are still many mysteries yet unsolved surrounding the murder of the president. Namely, the true nature of the giant monster and... Then come and get me. I'll be looking forward to it. That is, if you can bring me to justice, but I highly doubt that. The true identity of the person on the other end of the phone. God damn, this lot's gonna be crowded. Holy crap. Could you please give it a rest already?
The heck? I'm telling y'all, it's best for y'all's sake to come clean. The staff has their lips sealed shut as the reporters continue their tenacious negotiations.
If you're not here to cooperate with the investigation, I must ask you to vacate the premises.
Put a sock in it, Copper. Y'all couldn't even stop Mozilla's invasion. Not only did they secretly raise a giant monster, but now the staff is trying to cover it up. Like I said, we haven't been raising any monsters here at the film lot. But ain't you said you done saw Gordy yourself? Sure, I saw it, but it's not like we were keeping it at the film lot.
Mind if we butt in?
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
And John.
Oh, y'all come here to search for the monster too?
We're searching for a criminal, not a monster. Plain G says, the darkness inside a criminal's heart can be likened to a monster. Well, when it comes to killing people, criminals aren't much different from monsters. Look at all of these characters. This is crowded. At least Franziska and Raymond didn't show up too.
Agent Lane, this is a problem. I can't let outsiders into the crime scene.
These are all key figures in the case. I'd like them to be here when the investigation resumes. Agent Lane, regarding what you said about resuming the investigation, where do you intend to start? We'll start by reviewing the case. Today, the body of President Juan was found here in the film lot. The president's whereabouts from 2 nights ago are still unknown. It seems he snuck out from under the eyes of his bodyguards and ventured outside. And that night was the last time he was seen alive. It was when he met with you, Judge Courtney, on the roof of the Grand Tower. Oh. Why is John sweating? So, why did you meet with the president?
That I cannot say.
You can't tell us, even under suspicion of murder.
Can't say? Why not? Miss Courtney, if you don't say anything, you'll only be more suspicious.
She must have a reason to clam up. I think you're somehow involved in the president's assassination. The president's body was only discovered today. That still leaves a blank of 1 whole day after Judge Courtney met with him unaccounted for. Don't be so impatient. We're gonna fill in that blank right here, right now. The evening on that blank day in question is what's important. What happened here last night? So, why don't you tell us, John Marsh?
Me?
We know you were here last night.
What? John was here?
Between that little Missy's testimony and the footprints we found, we can easily prove it.
John, you were rehearsing here last night, right?
You were spying on me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just came to check up on things. You really shouldn't be staying up so late, you know?
Mind your own business. Huh? What was that sprite at the end there? It's like he was slapped in the back of the head by cardboard or the flap of his backpack? Weird.
John Marsh, that young lady was worried about you. You will not speak to her like that.
Ugh. When your mom addresses you in an angry voice with your full name, that's how the fear of God gets put in you.
Sorry. How many times have I told you to be more mindful of the way you speak?
Okay, yeah, it's confirmed. They actually do live together. Man, I must have sounded like a clown with my theory that they were estranged.
Is it just me, or does Miss Courtney's personality seem kind of different?
She seems to be as strict with her own son as she is with those who violate the law.
Are you listening to me? And earlier as well. You should always bear that in mind, no matter the occasion.
Ugh, dude. When you, say, one thing, and then your parents just sit you down and have this whole-ass speech at you. It's like... We've all been there, right? Can we get on with the investigation already?
Oh, pardon me.
For Judge Courtney to get carried away like that, this must be her motherly side. Agent Lane, do you suspect John? All I want is the truth. Why was the president killed? I want to know who killed him. I'll do whatever it takes to find out. It seems the president was like family to him. John, would it be alright if we ask you a few questions? Sure, it's fine. Got nothing to hide anyway. Hey! I wasn't feeling too great during yesterday's shoot, so I made a few bloopers. They're reshooting the scene today, so... Well, I decided to rehearse a little on my own, that's all. I do it all the time. There wasn't anything out of the ordinary.
You were rehearsing alone that late at night? John, when I called you last night, you told me you were at the hotel.
You called him? About what time was that?
I believe it was around 11 p.m. I require him to call me every night. That's our rule whenever he stays away from home.
The truth is, I was at the film lot during that time.
So you lied to me. Oh God! Panic? I'm sorry. Miss Courtney sure is angry. I think it's admirable that he practiced on his own, even if he hid it from his mom.
I'm sure she was simply worried. Who knows what could have happened to him out alone so late at night? And in reality, he did get caught up in yesterday's incident.
But John said there wasn't anything out of the ordinary, right?
Is that really the truth? Well... You know... This lot, it kind of has been picked clean. There's the inside of the building to the left of the body, and the building that's that has the Mozilla head on the roof. We could look in there, but I'm thinking that maybe we're done investigating? Like, for sure, half of this has been solved. We've put away Blaze the Best and Roland. All that's left is figuring out who murdered the president, and indeed who the mastermind is. They're probably the same people. I feel like between the upcoming testimony and our evidence, we might not actually have a another investigation phase. I can definitely feel like this game is winding down to a close. I think this is the first video where I can say that I feel the end approaching. Oh, and that still gets me really excited for the next Ace Attorney game we're gonna play. Oh, I'm so hyped for it. I'm so curious about it because it's gonna be on the Nintendo 3DS. We're gonna leave behind a whole console generation and journey into the realm of three-dimensional graphics. Well, okay, admittedly, I have seen like maybe a few clips here and there. Not clips, screen caps, really. I know that is 3D. I've seen it in 3D. I know it's going to be 3D. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. God, I love Sebastian. We even briefly played as him. That's strong. You know, that's just strong. Well done, game. Oh, and that new sprite he had where he was standing tall with his head held high, shedding one tear. Oh, so good. These investigation games are adding so many great, amazing characters. I want Tyrell bad, I want Raymond Shields, I want Blaze the best, and it could go either way on Courtney, really. I want them to appear in future games. I want them to. They're so cool. Okay, I know realistically speaking that Tyrell is in prison serving time, but who knows? This game here, or the previous game rather, where he was sentenced, that's like 7 odd years before Apollo Justice, so yeah, I could see him coming back in future games once he gets out for like good behavior. Bad is good after all. I need another hit of my copium. Yeah, I guess we didn't really get anything concrete on leading to who the mastermind is. Everything involving Blaze seems pretty self-contained. I do wonder how the bell will figure in. Well, actually, hold on. Yeah, no, the bell and the newspaper, they aren't even with us. They're not evidence anymore. We're completely done with that plot thread, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sebastian's gonna pop up for the ending, like before the credits roll, but yeah, I think we've mostly seen the last of him. Unless he wants to show up and lend a hand. That'd be neat. Alright then. I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.